You are now free to ooh and ah.
Is the season for the most anticipated holiday of a teen's life, prom.
All over the world this month, teens are participating in a rite of passage. And that passage is simply known as prom.
Prom? Let's go to prom together.
Okay.
All right.
It's prom season.
Yeah, prom season is the most dramatic season any teenager has to face. Whether you're in 10th, 11th, or 12th grade, just going to the prom with a significant other is a really big, important deal. Whether you see it on Zoey 101, Big Time Rush, or even Disney Channel, there's just so much that goes into these kinds of specials. They're not that special, are they really?
You know, a girl dreams her whole life about going to prom and having that perfect dance with a very special guy.
And then he gets hit on the head by a faulty disco ball, episode 16.
Every episode addresses going to this formal dance as a separate kind of achievement. Like one episode will be about becoming prom king.
An outfit fit for a king.
One will be about asking somebody out.
I don't want to go to some stupid dance. Nobody asked me. I told her she should just ask somebody. Like who? Who I'm gonna ask?
That's my new ringtone.
One will be about asking somebody in. There's just a lot going on around this time because it's teens, you know? Like, they care a lot about this kind of stuff. You don't have a lot of power at this age.
You better hurry. It's always good to be prom.
So I kind of want to go over some of the best prom episodes that I've seen throughout all these teen shows and which ones did it better. Honestly, it's just fun to rewatch all of them around this time because it's spring, you know, like we're excited for this season. Without further ado, let's jump into some of the best teen sitcom tropes starring prom season. What's up everybody, it's Johnny 2000 focusing on 2000s movies, TV media, and so much more. And today we're jumping into the prom tropes. Yeah, every teen sitcom had this episode in one way or another, whether it was a dance or a full-on like cotillion or prom. There's just something special about these types of episodes that every show did it. So let's jump into it. So for the first episode, we have Big Time Rush, Big Time Prom Kings. Big Time Prom Kings is an episode of Big Time Rush about the prom, and this is one of the first episodes I've ever been able to get from Big Time Rush because it is just so hard to find. But it's one of the best prom episodes I feel like out of all of these because it's completely devoted to the prom concept. I can't believe how many plots go on at the same time in Big Time Rush, honestly. Like, I forgot how complicated it can get. So all the boys are insistent on trying to become prom king.
Don't worry, when I'm prom king, there'll be plenty of room for you and you other non-kings in my court.
With each having an individual plan. Like, James and Kendall are kind of against each other because James wants to be prom king and Kendall does too, but he's been dating Joe, so he has kind of the advantage. And meanwhile, Joe is actually in trouble and can't go to the prom. So James has kind of the edge.
You do know you can't take yourself to the prom, right?
Logan wants to help him because he wants to get Camille back, and Camille's going with somebody else. Oof, awkward. So these two are kind of a duo in trying to make this happen. I forgot how funny it is when James is like just the most conceited character. It's almost like unrealistic for most of these episodes.
You bought a crown? Yeah, prom crowns tend to be made of cardboard. I wanted something more authentic.
Gustavo is completely resentful of himself for putting this prom together. Like, he's like, we should be making an album, and fires everybody that's trying to help with the prom, which is kind of crazy. I can't believe that's even like a plot that goes through. So he kind of puts himself in a position to plan the whole thing, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Meanwhile, Carlos has like the least important plot where he's just trying to break up these three Jennifers so he could get one of them alone. Kind of crazy. And meanwhile, James is actually trying to get this celebrity to go to prom with him because that's the only way he could compete with James. And of course, Logan helps him do that with this really fake mustache. And I don't know why, this is just a hilarious look. I wish we got this more often in the show. Somehow James' plan works, and this celebrity agrees to go to the Palm Woods prom, which I can't believe she agreed to. Carlos thinks he could win prom queen, which I think is the furthest shot from actually happening because of this Jennifer, but she has like a full-on identity crisis and is like, wow, I never experienced life on my own, which is kind of like an Amish person leaving the farm for the first time. Yeah, that's what this girl's going through. So Kendall sneaked Joe out of her apartment because of her father, and she's nervous the entire time, which I would be too. And Kendall's just like, get over it, which is kind of disrespectful of him when you think about it. But I guess they're just trying to enjoy prom. I don't know. I just feel bad for the whole situation. Like, they clearly deserve to win. So like putting this against each other is kind of harsh. Meanwhile, Gustavo is just a comedy act trying to do everything the prom needs, like, all at once. And I don't know how this isn't a complete flop. Like, this is crazy that it's even working out. James's situation is kind of confusing because it's just the celebrity has to be followed by a bunch of bodyguards, which nobody there is recognizing who she is or caring, so I don't know why that even matters. But yeah, James is just having a rough time all around. James ends up getting in a fight with the bodyguards of this celebrity, which I gotta be honest, I did not see that coming at all. And did you know this episode's actually breaking the 23-minute rule? Like, there's no commercials, but they get 28 minutes for this whole special. I can't believe how long this episode is and how they even aired it on TV, because that's a lot of time. Like, this is not even a 2-part episode and it's like breaking 30 minutes. Not normal for the time. Logan, for some reason, is the only person that James can turn to, so he's like hiding in the bathroom stall for the rest of the episode. But Logan actually has like a positive moment where him and Camille actually make up because she realizes all he's doing for her, and yeah, so they switch outfits, which seems like a jump because it kind of is. Just to get James out of here, they have him dress like a girl. Confused, but whatever, keep going. Meanwhile, Joe and Kendall were wrong. Actually, the dad does figure it out. It's so funny because for a second, Kendall's like, I guess the moral of the story is it doesn't matter what your dad's doing for a living, you could still sneak out. And it's like, why would that be the resolution at all? But yeah, she gets in trouble and her dad shows up with all of his friends and they just take her away, which is kind of depressing. I did not see that coming at all. And Camille kind of ditched her date, which is kind of, I don't even know how to like judge that. But yeah, every character almost ends up having to ditch the prom because of something they did wrong. And it's just kind of crazy that nobody ends up winning. Or, I mean, Gustavo's trying to choose somebody, but everybody is just consistently not there. So he has to go with Logan and James, calling him Jamie.
Logan and Jamie.
Which is insane. So they end up winning, and you don't expect that coming at all. But at least James won like he said he did.
Well, you're not prom king, but you are.
Don't say it.
This all around is probably one of the best prom specials I've ever seen because the episode is solely devoted to this whole prom concept and every character plays an intense role, with all having the same goal. Like, seeing them go up against each other head to head is actually really, really funny. I feel like this is one of the better prom specials that I've ever seen, and I don't know, like, compared to Hannah Montana, compared to Victorious, I feel like this has like the best skin in the game when it comes to prom specials. At least like they're completely committed to it and it's not just one big joke, even though this episode is kind of one big joke. The next episode we have is Hannah Montana's Promma from season 3, episode 14. Which is a play on the title Mamma Mia, obviously. So Lily and Oliver are bragging around school that they already have a date to the dance, which they're kind of obnoxious in this moment.
That feeling of being so desperate, so needy, so...
Ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me, ask me now.
You ask me now.
Oh my god, this is so sad. So her friends have a talk with her, making it worse, talking about how it sucks to be single, which is not helpful, guys. Then Miley stands by a poster, trying to give subtle hints to this guy that she wants to be asked to prom, and he's clearly not asking her.
Where you headed? Over there?
And she does not give up, which she should have done since the beginning. He admits that this other girl just asked her, which, Miley, if you weren't being so desperate, you could have just approached him first. Meanwhile, this nerd named Aaron, which I could swear was in other teen shows before, tries to ask a girl to a dance, and she rejects him, being so embarrassed.
I'm waiting for somebody better to ask. Sorry.
Appreciate the honesty.
This makes Miley feel really bad because it seems like they don't even pity him. She goes to talk to him to make him feel better, but then he ends up getting the idea that she wants to go to prom with him.
Will you go with me?
Keep walking.
Miley.
She's just straightforward doing it. She even tries to walk away, which is rude, and then says yes. He gets overly excited and calls his family. Meanwhile, Billy Ray is fed up with Jackson because he let him come home from college, and he's not really doing anything with his life. He's waking up late, he's not doing anything. But this is a good callback to the movie. I feel like the writers tried to do a good job connecting the events of the movie and now.
I let you come home from college because you said you were homesick. Well, now I'm homesick too. Sick of having you home doing nothing.
He tries to get Jackson to go to college, and it doesn't work. Meanwhile, Miley talks to Billy Ray about asking Erin to prom. But she gets a call from David Archuleta, who was also in iCarly, oh my gosh, saying that he wants to record a song with her the night of her prom. And obviously she's not super excited to go to prom with Erin, so she almost says yes immediately, and does not think of the consequences. So Miley goes to Erin's house, ready to explain to him why she can't go to prom with him. She runs into his grandmother, and feels horrible because he was so excited to finally go.
We flew in from Pittsburgh as soon as we got the news. Last-minute flights are expensive, so we had to dip into our meat money.
Your meat money?
Meanwhile, Jackson is really embarrassed and does not want to go to college. He feels so much pressure, and it's actually kind of sad. Like, I feel bad for this guy.
You think that Jackson Rod Stewart is scared? I'm terrified.
Robbie tries to give him a pep talk, but it doesn't really work out. And Jackson is so scared that he's going to end up at Rico's for the rest of his life that he definitely does go back to try. So I guess sweet fear does work. Meanwhile, Miley is as Hannah, recording the song with David Archuleta. I Want to Know You is a really good song from the season 3 soundtrack, and it makes her feel really bad. So she tells David Archuleta she actually has to go to prom. And I don't know how, but she has enough time to get fully ready, makeup and everything, and go back to Erin's house, and then give him enough time to get the tuxedo ready. Guys, this is not enough time. Prom is a lot of work. And then they get pictures together, knowing that they're actually going to go together, and that's kind of the end. We don't really get to see the prom, we just see them get ready for the prom, and that's it. One last scene with Rico and Jackson, and it's funny. And that's kind of the prom episode.
You got any fives?
Go fish.
Liar?
I definitely love the moral dilemma Miley has to go through, like starting out as so desperate, then to actually getting exactly what she wanted, but then reverting back to her natural not wanting it. All around a really good episode.
Next, we have Prom Wrecker from Victorious. The Victorious prom episode is surprisingly close to Sonny with a Chance's prom episode, which I find really funny. It's called Prom Wrecker Season 2, Episode 5, and it all starts with this episode of Tori and Kat watching Andre kiss. Okay, it's just like a really weird stalkery moment that we don't talk about, and it's like it's normal for teens. Like, this does not happen. So Rex, which is the dummy of Robbie, talks about going to the Northridge prom.
Those Northridge girls. I feel like a prom bomb went off in my head.
And Tori's like, hey, we need a prom. So she goes to Psychowitz, who doesn't realize he's the head of student activities. What? And she's like, we need to have a prom here. Yay. Okay, and this is where it feels a lot like the Sonny with a Chance episode, because it's Tori trying to spearhead this prom and everybody else is like unsure of how to do it. I don't know why it's like the main character always has to be the leader in all these things. So yeah, Tori gets the whole crew together and gives everybody an assignment, and it looks like she's done like years worth of work to prepare for this prom. Like, I can't believe how invested she is in this. And since it's still kind of like earlier in the series, like, it feels kind of new to watch this show still. I don't know why, that's just the vibe I'm getting. Conflict ensues when Jade realizes that Courtyard for Hollywood Arts that they usually hang out at is going to be used for prom instead of her performance, which she was going to do Saturday night.
I was supposed to do my performance this Saturday night. Now Psycho, says I can't because you booked the Asphalt Cafe for your stupid prom. Prom.
So she's really angry at this entire endeavor and vows to take down the prom, which is kind of scary. Jade is a very scary character, and her and Tori never seem to reach a normal agreement, so it just seems like they're just at each other's throats this whole series. I don't know why, it just feels like there's enemies in the same friend group, and it's like, what? Tori renames it Prom, which is kind of ridiculous. Like, that's the most innovative thing they could do, is name the thing slightly different than it was before.
We call it a prom, right?
Innovative. I like it.
It's really stupid.
Even then, it doesn't make it a normal prom, so I don't know why she would go out of her way to get this normal tradition thing, but then change it all together. I don't know. It's a cool idea, though. I feel like all the kids coming together for a prom is awesome. Andre keeps making out with this girl, though, throughout this entire episode, and he seems to never get a break, this poor guy. Robbie, in the meantime, keeps consistently asking Kat to go to prom with him, which is actually really sweet, and she keeps dodging it with, like, other objects or, like, weird excuses. I kind of feel bad for this guy because, I don't know, I feel like she's just avoiding him, and it sucks when you're, like, trying to go out to somebody with your feelings and they just, like, straightforward don't even let that conversation happen. It's so awkward. Robbie finds out pretty quickly that Kat doesn't actually have a date, so when she rejects him, he's really upset and offended, which I don't know why. Dude, she just rejected you. You have to let it go. In the meantime, Trina actually blackmails Sinjin into helping her rig the entire prom queen or princess or whatever they do with this, which is kind of crazy. I like that we have a subplot that's about crowning somebody the prom king or queen. I like that being a part of the tradition, honestly. I didn't realize Beck wasn't in this episode at all until Jade mentions it, that he's in Canada, and I don't know why that's like his personality trait, that he's from Canada. And yeah, so we're kind of scared of her because she doesn't have anybody holding her back. She shows up to the prom and is acting really suspicious, and I'm getting terrified. Meanwhile, Robbie's trying to call out Kat on her lie, and it's just not working out. Jade ends up hacking the entire monitor to put demons on the projection, and it's kind of scary to think about. So Jade just disappears and starts just acting weird. Meanwhile, Tori has to spend her whole prom tracking down Jade, and it's like kind of weird. Jade just ends up hiring this shirtless guy in a diaper with a jukebox, and I don't know how this is gonna ruin the prom, but hey, that's just her whole deal. Meanwhile, Kat is still lying to Robbie, and he's just like offended, but it turns out this guy actually does show up and she wasn't lying the whole time, which kind of is extra sad for Robbie. I like wish she was lying. And then the diaper guy ends up winning the entire prom, which is insane when you think about it. Yeah, then we start singing Best Friend's Brother, which is the most inappropriate prom song you can imagine. Then it starts to rain, and still nothing really changes in the plot. I guess somehow Jade predicted rain. And the moral of the story is, I guess, like, no matter how many things get thrown your way, you're still gonna have a good prom. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why the episode doesn't necessarily resolve. We just kind of don't see Jade again, and Psychowitz is dancing with the kids. Okay, yeah, whatever. Weird prom episode, but at least it's interesting. Oh my gosh, and Andre's never resolved his plot. Like, he just makes out with this girl, finds out that she actually doesn't like him for himself. He's just kissing her, and he just becomes okay with it. And that's kind of how that ends. Kind of weird. Around, it's a lot of fun being scared of Jade the whole time, but it doesn't feel like the episode pans out or even fully concludes. So that's always gonna bother me. Therefore, I'm not gonna be happy about it. The end. Now we have Zoey 101 Season 1's School Dance episode. So Zoey and Chase are messaging in class, kind of like IMing used to be in the 2000s. Where it's like texting and somehow getting away with it. I don't know if I would have gotten away with it at their age, though. And they're in multimedia class, which I don't know how there's so many things going on.
I don't think you want me to do that.
Read the message.
You think Mr. Bender knows his zippers now?
This really perky duo of teens, which kind of look older than them. I'm not sure if they're in their grade or if there are grades. I don't know. But then they tell them that they're going to have a dance.
And I'm sure some of you have thought about who you would like to ask.
Now, asking someone to a dance can be a little awkward.
So this year, you don't have to.
Nobody's excited, same way they weren't excited for the spring fling, which is not creative or new. But there is a twist. They're going to do a personality test to match everybody with their date.
So just go online to pcatest.com, fill out your personality test,
and poof!
You've got a date to the dance!
Yeah!
Everybody has an opinion, like Nicole's excited, Dana's not excited. The most important thing we follow is that Chase wants to ask Zoey. Logan points out that if he actually figures out all the answers she would give, maybe they would get matched up. And Chase actually thinks this is brilliant.
Some guys are brilliant, some guys are great looking. I just happen to be both. Later, man. Later.
I like that this episode's focused on technology and the problems it causes. That's my bread and butter. Nicole only answers saying boys, and it's just so ridiculous. Like, this is not a personality trait. Who gave her this role?
Number one pet peeve. Not meeting cute guys.
So Chase does a bunch of things to find out the answers from Zoey, like he gives her gummy worms, plays country music, and is like, do you like this? And he is trying to get the answers from her naturally.
Chase? Oh, what, you don't like country music? Well, what kind of music would you like to hear?
Then they get the results, and Michael's actually paired with a guy. And it's the butt of the joke, which is, I don't know, that's kind of homophobic for the time. Oh my gosh, and this guy's in it again. He's from Ned's Declassified and Hannah Montana. Who is he?
I am Oli, the foreign exchange student.
And of course he's making a joke out of being a foreigner. I don't know why we used to do this in the 2000s, but there was just so many times we thought that ambiguous accents or things that are out of our cultural norms were associated with, like, the ridiculous character, the character we laugh at. I don't really like it.
This is the problem. Oh, Mikael, your fingernails are so filthy.
So then when they all get the results, it's actually really funny because Logan and Dana get paired up, Nicole pairs up with this guy that's exactly like her, and Chase does get Zoey. But then they find out that Zoey's assigned to somebody else, somebody named like Glenn Davis. I don't even know who that is. This episode feels like the one true time we are on the guy's side. Like, it's told from the perspective of the males. Like, I feel like we've had a lot from Zoey's perspective and what's going on with the girls, but this is really interesting to see how they portray it. And I don't feel like a lot of episodes in the first season do this.
Well, let's just settle this right now. Come on, Zoey.
They try to complain about it to the people, but Glenn just tells Zoey to choose. The guys fight, and she says, I want to think about it, which is not cool, Zoey. They need to know. This is also why I don't think she likes Chase, because it's like, you have a clear opportunity to actually get to know him better and are not taking... Like clearly she doesn't seem to care. Zoey ends up choosing Glenn, and of course that gets Chase sad, and Zoey says, don't be sad.
Don't be sad.
Did you know that when I was little, I thought that babies came from outer space?
What? Zoey, you can't just say that to somebody, don't be sad. That definitely makes me think you don't like him. Like, of course he's not gonna tell you he likes you when they're giving so many signals to say no. Next thing you know, it's the dance. Zoey and Glenn are together, and Chase is miserable about it, and I don't know why he doesn't get reassigned. Nicole actually gets frustrated with her date, he's too much like her, and Michael ends up having a good time. Only to find out later that he was paired up with somebody that he is attracted to, so good for him, I guess. Chase overhears that Glenn took her answers just like he did, so he confronts him, which is very hypocritical.
Come on, dude, she's hot. So? That's low, man. That's really low. Oh, don't go acting all righteous with me, Matthews.
But then he says he knows that Chase did it too, which I don't know how in the world he would have known that. And Chase argues like stealing is worse than tricking. Not super helpful or a good defense at all, Chase. Zoey overhears them and then kind of gives them a speech on why what they did was wrong, which is fair, it was wrong. I just don't get why Zoey, of all people, is the object of affection. She's the least personality-driven person in the show so far. By the end, we get the closest moment to Zoey and Chase actually being together, and I remember watching this when I was a youngster. They're like sitting by the lake, and Zoey asks why he did that, and kind of says that it was sweet, which I don't think it was, and you just said it was crazy behavior a second ago, so I don't really know what she's trying to say.
Why would you go through all that trouble just to go with me to a stupid dance?
Because I wanted to protect you.
Protect me?
Well, yeah. I mean, you're my friend, and you're a girl.
And this is like the moment that he has to say he likes her, but he just can't do it. But we have a feeling that she knows at this point. I just don't get how protecting someone is an excuse for acting like this at all. Like, he should be protecting him from himself. And then we have Sonny with the Chances season 1 prom episode.
It's called Prom-ises. The whole fish out of water scenario of a small town girl going to big time Hollywood is such an easy plot, and they did the most basic episode, but they did it pretty well. It's Sonny bringing her beliefs to the studio where she's like, hey, we need to have a prom.
You mean a prom sketch?
No, like a real prom.
Like something for all of us kids to socialize with, which in today's time is really cool. I feel like we look back on these sets and we're like, wow, kids were not treated right. So to see a kid actually stand up for it and like do it within the studio, like it must have felt pretty meta for the kids that were acting it out at the time. Like, I wonder if they did have enough social emotional moments outside of this set. Like, it makes me actually wonder the conditions of how they were operating. So yeah, Chad obviously thinks that her whole dream of having a dance would be such a waste of time.
I've been to a bunch of proms, and they've all ended in disaster.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Episode 10, my hair caught on fire. Last year's season finale, my date turned out to be my long-lost sister.
Because, of course, he's a guy, he's not gonna respect the women's feelings. But Sonny mentions how it's actually really special to just get dressed up and going out for what feels like an important night.
You know, a girl dreams her whole life about going to prom and having that perfect dance with a very special guy.
And then he gets hit on the head by a faulty disco ball, episode 16.
Like, it actually really matters to her. Chad always has his comebacks, and seeing them fight constantly is so funny.
You're officially uninvited.
Well, good, because we officially wouldn't have come anyway.
Their back and forth just continues to get better and better. Like, that's something that stays in the show this whole time. The chemistry between Demi and Chad Dillon Cooper is awesome. They continue their argument through the phone and after the theme song, which is such a meta joke, and I like it a lot. Sonny comes complaining to her friends that prom needs to be a thing, and they are actually on Chad Dillon Cooper's side, which, wow guys, real nice. Everybody is like, yeah, we never thought prom was important, and it's kind of sad to think about, but like the cultural differences between what kids are raised to believe in Hollywood, you know, like going out and doing work, getting your first project off the ground, like that's kind of the priority.
I've been working since my first diaper commercial. I'm 11.
But Sonny's coming from a place where it's like a tradition. It's something that people have done for a long time and continue to do. It also feels like commentary on like Gen Z versus millennial, where some of them appreciate older values and like to uphold some of the cool stuff that they vibe with, and then us Gen Z, like, we're just trying to be defiant just for the sake of being defiant. Like, I get that vibe from Nico, Grady, Zora, Tawny, like, they're just trying to act like they know what's better. And as somebody from the East Coast, like, it is nice to make an event out of a social experience like this. Like, I don't have to pretend like I'm too good to have fun with my friends just because it loops me in with the younger kids. Like, that's just what it is. It also kind of reminds me of Wife Swap. It used to be this reality show where they switch the mothers on two different families, and the cultural differences really stand out. And it kind of reminds me in the sense that Sonny is forcing these guys to experience something just because she finds it traditional, and they're kind of opening their arms and embracing it. Nico and Grady being the most gracious about it, and Tawny obviously holding back the most.
And I'm thinking we have a really cool theme, you know, something fantastic, something magical, something we've all dreamed about. Tawny Town!
It's genuinely sweet to see them excited and actually have Sonny have the obstacle of convincing them they need to try this. Like, it makes her seem like a really genuine character just trying to benefit everybody's lives, and I like that. It kind of is the opposite of Zoey 101, where she talks about doing a lot for other people and never does it. Like, at least Sonny just goes around and actually tries to put on a brave face and share her traditions and such. She tries to talk to Marshall about making this happen, which Marshall's kind of like the Lorne Michaels of it all, like Saturday Night Live's head runner. Yeah, he's like the guy that is the producer, the writer, and I don't know, he's just the bigwig here. And he does not believe that they should be doing this prom, which is a fun exterior villain to have. Like, the kids are on the same side, so it's more Sonny versus the executives. And like I said before, this is where it gets a little too close to realism. As we actually got older and started to learn how studio systems actually worked, content creators actually made their own videos, it became clear that putting on a performance just to record video-wise isn't necessarily a great excuse for letting kids miss out on really important events. Like, we just glorify how much fun it is to be a part of the industry and make money from doing art, but it's like, guys, we also like can put a lot of excitement toward just mundane events, like small everyday life things that actually are pretty beautiful when you sit down and enjoy them. And I'm not talking about like social isolation through phone or like deleting social media or getting away from technology. I'm just talking about doing more of that kind of stuff in a bubble together. Oh, and Sonny reports that Marshall said no and actually disappoints the So Random cast.
Thumbs off, everybody.
What? I've been dreaming about being prom queen ever since you brought it up 18 minutes ago.
That makes me feel really bad. I feel like you guys definitely deserve to do social things. You're not just here to be worker monkeys and perform all the time. Sonny ends up having an idea for like this rebel prom.
A secret prom.
A secret prom?
A secret prom?
A secret prom?
Okay, I think we've said it enough times.
They decide to have the prom on the set. And it's so funny because Chad actually finds out this is happening because there is posters going around.
And not much of a secret when every kid in the lot's walking around with flyers that read, "Secret prom."
Like, who's posting posters when it's literally a secret prom. Like, Sonny's advertising it as a secret prom, she's trying to make it a secret, and then suddenly somebody is printing posters. Like, that's not helpful. I'm never gonna go to that person for important things. So yeah, Sonny is trying to get away with this prom, and she uses the set to kind of put it together. And I love that they have all these resources that a normal studio would have. Like, this is such a cool playing ground for kids to get into comical situations. Nico and Grady clean up pretty good when they get ready for the prom, and it's surprising how easy it is for them to all get away with this happening. Like, them getting gussied up and dressed as if they're just there in the studio just to hang out. Like, why isn't Marshall picking up on this earlier? They try to do a slow motion entrance of Sonny in a dress, which is just such an annoying trope that is only used in older sitcoms. Like, I don't know why they're doing it. They're trying to make fun of it, but it's just unironic, I feel like. Zora comes in and acts like the stage manager for the whole prom, like bringing them to set. And I really like that. Like, they're so good at interweaving the comedy into this. Yeah, Marshall comes in as a really awkward encounter with Demi, which is funny because it's like so true. How in the world would they get away with this? She's almost immediately in trouble, going to his office, and the most crazy time for a commercial break.
We'll be right back with the Disney Channel original comedy, Sonny with a Chance.
Marshall thinks that she's just trying to do a prom sketch, so she's not actually in trouble. And this is actually the perfect solution. I feel like things always work out for the kids in this scenario, and I love that about this show. Sonny ends up distracting Marshall just so that they can get everybody onto set and enjoy this, which, why don't you just say you're rehearsing it? Sonny, come on.
We just think it's dumb.
So yeah, then we get A Night in the Clouds. They get a full-on set together, all these teenagers to show up, and it's actually kind of sweet. Like, it's all these other actor kids that probably wouldn't have had this experience, all enjoying a fake prom. And of course, Sonny spends all of her time trying to keep it a secret instead of actually enjoying it herself. So Marshall holds Sonny hostage in his office, so Sonny has to actually, like, get him out for the night. So the goal to have a prom already happened. Now it's just Sonny needs to enjoy it herself, which is so funny. It's just all about her trying to get there. Tawny doesn't fit in with any of the other people, which is so true. It's like, I do not expect somebody so socially deprived to fit in immediately, and seeing that she acts like she's too good for this whole thing is really funny. So Sonny tries to get to her own prom, finally getting away from Marshall, and she still can't manage to get in there. Every moment something pops up, like she spills all her hot dogs before she's able to get in. Chad Dillon Cooper literally goes to the prom before her.
This tastes good. You know where it would taste better? On your prom.
He continues to rub it in her face that she shouldn't even be doing this, and it's like, come on, you can't just be that much of a jerk, Chad. It's starting to remind me of that house party episode of SpongeBob where he had a party, got locked out of his house, and could not get back in the house. Like, that's this exact plot. And I wouldn't have thought that if Sonny didn't get mustard all over her red shirt. Like, it just makes me think SpongeBob, you know? Meanwhile, they make a comedy bit out of Zora giving Marshall horrible driving directions, so when he leaves the studio, he'll be gone for so long they could finish the entire prom. And Zora does a great job of sounding like the GPS. Like, she definitely is that.
And make a right, then a left, then a right, then two more lefts, then a left and a right, and a left and a right, and a left and a right.
Things get worse for Sonny as her dress is completely smothered, so she has to dress up from the props department, which is insane. Marshall ends up coming back anyway, right as Sonny gets to see her own prom, and it looks great, like it's such a great time, but she has to tell everybody to hide, like she doesn't even get to enjoy it. But then yeah, when Marshall comes in, the cast just basically says they were rehearsing a prom sketch, they get away with it once again, and Marshall's inspired and is like, wow, this inspires me to give you guys the permission to actually have your own prom. And it's like, okay, that's a crazy way to end. And they have their own little prom between just like the 5 of them, and Chad joins in, which is sweet. It's like the first like little poke at them actually being together as opposed to just fighting all the time. I would consider this, like at the age I watched it, the actual first step into developing that kind of relationship. Like that is what you would do if you like somebody a little bit more than just a friend or even just fighting. And the fact that they are alone is even more kind of deep. Like Sonny and Chad alone at the studio dancing, it's so weird. And he like kind of shows that he's growing, and then they end up making it a really fun dance instead of a romantic one. Overall, this episode's great at diving into Sonny and Chad without actually like throwing it on us quite yet, and having her try to get this prom going is such a genuine experience. Seeing the kids get away with so much is a lot more fun than I remember it being. I feel like this show does best when it's all about them and their own world and getting by the producers. Like, that's a really good plot.
Now we have True Jackson in The Dance. And we got a lot of plot twists and fun adventures that happen in this one. It's a back-to-school dance is coming up, and everybody's getting hyped for it. It's like the first time there's true drama that goes on between Lulu and True. Let me just talk about the B-plot for a second before we get into the nitty-gritty. Ryan's writing a script about a show with Jimmy, the mailroom guy, and he's like the superhero of it all. And he doesn't want to be involved unless he can have a say over everything, ruining Ryan's script like every step of the way. But it is such a funny trope when the characters are making a movie about their lives and it's just ridiculously out of proportion. The fact that Ryan plays the straight man in this episode and Jimmy's like the wacky one is just so funny to me. It definitely gives me points for him.
Listen up, demons and ghouls. I, Edward Mailcart, great-great-grandson of the Postmaster General, I'm gonna overnight your butts to the dead letter office. And cut. What are you doing?
While the whole dance thing is going on, True and Amanda have to work together to pick out a model for their outfits. And Amanda wants this one guy named Brock. She's just convinced she's meant to be with him, and he is not the best model, so it's like even funnier that he's so confident in it.
Not afraid to work with bees.
And True does not know how to tell no to Amanda. True finds out that Mikey J hasn't asked Lulu yet. She tries to get to the bottom of it because it is suspicious. It's like, you guys are dating, why would you not ask them? Unless that's like already a given. Turns out Mikey J doesn't know how to dance. True shows up to his house and yeah, she's like, I can teach you how to dance. I feel like this has been done before. Like, it seems like the person's cheating because Lulu sees them together and it does not look good. I don't know why cheating for teens would just be dancing in a living room. I feel like Lulu should give True the benefit of the doubt. But she doesn't, and she tells it to Ryan and Jimmy, which is kind of crazy. Ryan confronts True and she's like, oh my god, I didn't even realize Lulu thought that. And it's like, you guys have the gall to call out True when she is literally your boss and being the reason that they're even at Mad Style. Like, that's so crazy. So True ends up finally being able to tell Lulu what was really going on. We get to see Lulu's room, which is kind of nice. It's weird because it's like you think they're not going to be friends for a little bit until you're like, oh wait, obviously they're going to clear this miscommunication up. But it's so sad to like see them apart for so long. Like, I don't know, that was just like hard to wrap my head around. Eventually, True gets the confidence to actually ask Jimmy out herself. Something she learned in the last episode, that maybe she was like right to be confident, but it was bad timing. It's really cute because every character gets a moment to be dancing on this stage, which is very sweet. It's like True and Jimmy, then Amanda and the model Brock, and that just kind of like barely gets resolved. And it's just nice to see everybody have their moment, and even Oscar gets involved in the end. Like, what is going on? It's nice to like break out of the norm and have these unstructured dance sequences. And then we actually get to acknowledge that Jimmy and True might be actually together. I can't believe they don't go to the same school to begin with. Seeing them be in like the lockers, I'm like, aren't you guys the same age? But yeah, it's nice that they end up having this full-on school dance, kind of solidifying their relationship. Not sure if they're gonna bring it to the second season, but everybody else kind of gets their way. And by the end of the season, you feel great for everybody. And with all this dancing going on, it's just a nice time to celebrate. And let's not forget the dance-related episode of iCarly, the iCarly dance episode, as close as it comes to having a prom episode for this show. It's called iDream of Dance. I'm sure you guys remember it. It was like one of the first iCarly episodes to air in general. I can't remember if it was like the premiere night or a couple nights after, but I just remember this being a big deal at the time. I was in middle school, probably wondering what Austin Butler was doing so early in his career. Starts with Carly walking into the classroom, seeing Sam eating a full breakfast at her table. Ew, who's gonna clean that up when you're done? Carly takes the turkey bacon and stops questioning her, which makes sense. Gotta acknowledge that this is before iCarly went like a little off the rails. I feel like for me, pre-season 4 was all the good stuff and everything after is just unstructured. So this is supposed to be the best season, you know, like this is where it started it all. So why is this a dance episode? It would be one thing if it was a musical episode, like give me a couple Freddie numbers, give me Sam singing jazz, even Carly can sing Stay My Baby, you know, one of the 2000 classics. But no, this is the earliest dud, I would say, for being so high quality. So clearly Miss Briggs is up with the times because she brings in a Scottish dancer. And you know how we were in middle school, always talking about those Scottish dancers. Please just wear plaid and dance in my class, that's all I need. Sam boos him, and even though I'm thinking that, you shouldn't say that out loud. That's actually really disrespectful. I remember once somebody was doing an audition for a talent show and the teacher said no, and that kind of broke my heart. In all fairness, this doesn't actually have to do with the subject they're learning, so it's like, Carly has a point here. So this whole event strikes the iCarly team to have an idea. Though they're traumatized by the experience, they're like, we should allow other people to submit dances to us and we could showcase them on the website. Wow, look at these guys. They essentially founding TikTok. Because at the time, these videos didn't exist everywhere. It was like every so often on YouTube next to all the parkour videos or emo rock compilation videos. It wasn't that common, so even this was a clever idea at the time. So Carly and Sam announce it on their webcast. Hey, submit a video to us, we'll check it. The way they talk on iCarly is kind of condescending to me. Like, I feel like adults just assume kids are that eccentric and peppy when they're talking, but it even feels unnatural for Jeanette and Miranda to be doing it. Like, I get it. I get what they're going for. Freddie runs to the girls and is like, guys, like, we got so many submissions. And check how big this laptop is in Freddie's hand. It is like half this guy's body. It is way bigger than his head. It looks like an iPad XL. And it makes Freddie look a little ridiculous in this moment. Gibby's adorable. He has a little cameo when we find out that Sam was attacking somebody's locker and it was his. I can't believe how young they all are. Like, this is insane. So they end up watching all these dance videos and there's like an obscure amount, like they're exhausted. Spencer introduces a B-plot by saying he wants to be one of the dancers, and that's funny to me. I love this character. We get a little glimpse into Spencer's room, which I never realized they did. Does it feel like a normal episode so far? Yeah, that's because it kinda is, and this is where it starts getting off the rails. So Freddie, Sam, and Carly fall asleep watching all these weird dance videos. Next thing you know, they all appear in the same dream back at Ridgeway. There, everybody is dancing for no apparent reason. It's not like these guys have like a lesson to learn that they have to figure out through their dreams. It's just like, oh, what if every day was an inconvenient dance number that didn't necessarily need to get solved? There's nowhere to go or do per se, but we're just gonna be attacked by these dancers. Everybody has a different dream. Then we have Sam's dream where it's like her versus Miss Briggs, and it ends up being one of the Scottish dance numbers, and it's actually really impressive. I'm like, how did they get Sam to do this? Oh wait, it's an actor. Gibby comes in with his shirt off. I think this is like one of the first times that's happened.
Get out of here, Gibby. This is my nightmare.
And then Freddie's dream is actually really funny. It's like a guy hitting on Carly and he has to like step in the way, and it looks like it's about to be a rap battle, but instead he just does silent movements. Like, imagine this entire scene without any dancing. Like, it's just cringe. But it is kind of impressive. Like, it reminds me of High School Musical, The Boys Are Back, when they're dancing on those tires. And then we get Carly's dream. It's like her in a floral dress, which, by the way, I don't know, it's not my style. A bunch of handsome men in suits appear and dance with her. Again, what are we working toward? What is happening? Where's the episode going? Is the web show at stake or just the main character's sanity? If so, like, why isn't this I Lost My Mind with Sheldon Cooper? She wakes up from the dream finally, and it's Spencer trying to make his dance video for them like he said he would, and we didn't really see much into it, but he ends up having the exact dream Carly did.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think I like it.
So overall, like, this episode, while it was wildly entertaining and the dance moves were borderline impressive, I feel like it didn't have anything to do with the core premise of the show. It wouldn't have worked as any Dan Schneider shows, and it didn't progress anything. It just feels like one of those let's do whatever we feel like doing episodes. And it's like, when I was at that age, I saw right through that. I'm like, guys, I need to see these characters going through stuff. I'm not having fun watching them dance. If they were singing or like had a goal that would be fun for me, but there's not that. It's just, there's nothing to overcome. And of course, we have Life with Derek. That's one of the fan favorite shows on this channel, so we have to talk about that. Casey is really insistent on controlling the entire situation, and of course, now that she's dating Max, like, this is actually somebody who's going to have to suffer because of it. She can't find the exact perfect dress, and she's becoming, like, Promzilla. Derek has a talk with Sally about how he's not gonna miss his prom, and then Sally's like, you should definitely go, like, why not? Oh my gosh, it definitely feels like she's giving him, like, these vibes. Casey already doesn't want to go to prom just because of the whole dress situation, and I wish she would just take it slightly less seriously. Nora insists that she could make a perfect dress, and let me give you a little spoiler, that does not work out. Suddenly, everything is crashing for Casey. Her haircut's gross, the dress turns out bad. It's like, nobody wins, and she's just like, I am not going to prom, which I can't believe she's like making this the center point of everybody else's world. Meanwhile, Derek is like, yeah, I guess I'll go to prom. So he ends up deciding to go to prom because Sally will go with him. Okay, that's kind of nice. In a third plot, for some reason, Schlepper and Emily, you know, they've been going out for quite some time, going to prom now. There's been something going on. He's been asking her a lot of really weird questions. We figure out later that he might be actually moving, and it's really sad when you think about it, although I don't really see them as like healthy couple anyway, so what does it matter to me? So Casey inevitably decides not to go to prom, of course. Has to be a drama queen about this whole situation, even though Derek's going. And of course, Max is still gonna go, which I don't know if that's really respectful, Max. If I were you, I would stay behind. That's the gentlemanly thing to do. And then Sally convinces Derek to try to give Casey a talk into coming back prom, which that's kind of a little too late for me, but hey, get her back here. Let's go. Let's try to make up for this. They end up finding the perfect dress for Casey, which for me, it would be like, Casey, can't you just learn how to go without the specific dress? Like, why couldn't that be the moral of the story? She shows up, has the best night of her life, and is even elected for prom king and queen. Yay, her and Max. A little convenient for the plot. I don't think they were that popular, but okay.
A drama queen and a prom queen, who would have thought?
Oh my gosh, I actually forgot that Schlepper proposed to Emily, and that's why they get into the argument. Ooh. So yeah, their whole plot is normal until it gets crazy. And now we have Unfabulous. And this one was kind of disguised as season 3 episode, The Auction. So Addie's talking about how every moment with Jake is so important, and it's the first time for everything, like the kiss, which by the way is at a family dinner table, of course. So fair for like these teenage kids. That's just how it goes. And yeah, and she's excited for her first dance. It's gonna be the 8th grade Bullfrog Ball, which is hosted by Mary Ferry. So she's the one putting this entire thing together, and Addie's just excited because she could finally get this dance with Jake. Great. Cool plot. We're excited and pumped, but uh-oh, there's a plot twist. Turns out they can't afford the dance. Yeah, the principal Brandywine is like, nope, we can't do it. Sorry, no dance. And Addie is not taking that lightly. They're like, okay, we have to find a way to fix this. And it's so funny because it really is canceled and everybody is like so down about it.
Forget it. I'm too depressed to do Burn.
Addie even has like a nice little song about it. Listen to her.
My dreams are all soggy and I made a big mess. Don't wanna miss the moment of my first dance. I gotta believe that there's still a chance.
Oh, yeah, we feel bad. Ben gives Addie the idea of doing like a bachelor auction where you have like a bunch of guys step on stage and all the girls bid to take them to the dance, which I don't know how they would have enough money to have an entire dance just based on that alone. I guess it's just gonna go through. Yeah, Mary Ferry, unfortunately, is so depressed at the fact her dance did not work super well that she's been drinking so much juice at the juice place. And it's really funny to incorporate Ben in that way, just to like see how she's like putting herself over the edge. Of course, it's sad to think Mary Ferry would be like so depressed about this situation, but it's totally in character, which I like. Addie does not expect Principal Brandywine to be so on board with this whole bachelor thing, and she's a little bit nervous about it because obviously she just wants the perfect date with Jake. That's the reason she does anything in the show. It's because of Jake. So this is kind of like important to her.
Add a few male teachers to the lineup. Pete Brand wants in on some of that man action.
Ew. trope.
Meanwhile, Mary Fairy and her boyfriend are even separated, and she's just going through a rough time. But they can't do this whole bachelor auction without Mary Fairy, so Gina and Addie have to convince her to do it. At first, she's like, no, I don't want to do it. But then they're like, what if we give you a makeover? Oh, yeah. So she gets fully made over, and it's that constant stereotype of like the hot girl takes off the glasses and looks good.
That's it. I did it. I'm a miracle worker.
They give her a makeover, and she's suddenly a popular girl. She switches her interest and is more involved in just being attractive, which I don't know if your personality would shift that much that quickly, but okay. So her and her boyfriend are not getting back together because of this, and Mary Fairy is still hosting the auction. Everything seems like it's gonna go back to normal. We even get some old throwback characters like Randy Klein. The education teacher walks on the runway, what the heck? And Zach is taken by a girl that steals things, so he's kind of on the rough end of the stick. But when is he not? He's kind of screwed for most of this show. Anyway, so Mary Fairy ends up actually bidding $100 for Jake Bahari, which is against girl code, as Addie says. And yeah, I also think this is kind of shady of her. What the heck? So now Jake is going to the dance with Mary Fairy, and I don't think Addie deserved that. I feel like she's only done good, and I think that was taken too far. Addie has like a little flashback about Frankenstein's monster, like she created Mary Fairy, but no, that's just Mary Fairy being a bad person, honestly, Addie. Like, give it a break.
Eyes, my creature.
All right!
So they end up having this full-on dance, and nobody's really happy with their dates. Mary Fairy and Jake Bahari don't really vibe at all, and Mary Fairy's ex dances with Gina. I don't know. Nobody wins in this, so Addie did not get what she wants at all. Next thing you know, they both trick Mary Fairy and her ex to go into the storage closet to try to make up with each other. It doesn't really work at first, but then after a while, yeah, it does end up working. Honestly, it's not that long. And Addie finally gets her date with Jake by the end. Very sweet. I feel like this is one of those really good episodes. Like, there was an auction episode of Zoey 101, and it did not end up this positive. You know, this is just a sweet story about betrayal between friends and a school dance at the very helm of it. And yeah, I really like stories like that. Like, it's very creative and definitely fits in with the teenage atmosphere, let alone being in 8th grade. Like, this is what you're worried about at the time. And yeah, that's all the prom episodes. It's just crazy the way these shows go about covering proms. I don't know why. Like, you have a secret prom, you have prom kings. There's just so many prom stories that I didn't even realize existed. But which was your favorite? What prom episode really spoke out to you and described your experience going to prom? Comment below, and until next time, everybody, thank you so much for contributing to all my videos and supporting this channel. Like, I'm just having so much fun making these. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you guys soon.